It's the attack of the bug-eyed man. Hey, you all, welcome back to Soldier Farms. Today we're in the shop. I have a few things I need to get done for a client. I'm working the laser today. Let me pull you over there and I'll show you what's going on. And then, whoops, and, move over here and person I teach with, her daughter absolutely loves sea turtles. So I am going to do a couple of projects on, and while that is running, I am going to work on setting up the wood lathe that I got for my birthday. And so we start by bringing over the lathe stand and opening the box. Harbor Freight packs this stuff very well. It's in a styrofoam tray inside a cardboard box, and the construction is very heavy. Quarter-inch plate, 3/16 bracing, all welded nicely, not spot welded. It's a quality item. So I'm just laying out all the pieces there as I usually do. Take the plastic off everything so I can take a look at it. And, this is a good activity to be doing while I'm also have the laser going. Printing my test piece first, which is something that I've gotten in the habit of doing. I probably don't need to, as experience meets the road, then I'm getting better, and I'm having a lot fewer laser projects that don't come out. So I'm over there now. I'm at the toolbox and I'm matching up sockets with the nuts and bolts, and oddly enough, the I don't want to view the laser if it would happen not to shut off. All right, there we are. Our little sea turtles are, it turned out pretty nice. The idea was to make a couple of these, and then I've got another design I'll show you and see if I can find you a vantage point. And then I take a little ruler. Where did I put you? Yeah. I take this thing and then I measure in from the end, see if I can. Alright, so here we are. I'm continuing to assemble the lathe stand, and I've got the legs together and the crossbeam, and so I set these lathe supports on, and I kind of do a little math, and so I decide that I'm going to preset it, and I want it to be tall enough that I can work at it and not have to bend over. And then as I go on, I decide that I'm going to move that down, and so I do that, move it down 2 sets, and then move on to the other side and set it the same. That's 32 inches, and then with the lathe sitting on top of it, then I figured that my working height would be about 36, which is about countertop height. What I didn't take into account for was the height of the tool rest on top of the bed, and so I may have to actually pull the lathe off and lower that by another 4 inches or so that the tool rest height is actually at about 32 to 34 inches, little below countertop height, so that at my waist I'm holding the tool level. I tell you what, for a small lathe, that still weighs about 75 pounds. So it's going to be a chunk to move around with the lathe mounted to the stand. There again, I mean, the foam was a little messed up, but all the components of the lathe itself are all in good condition. So it shipped well. And there it is sitting on the stand. I haven't bolted it down yet. I actually have to pull the little rubber feet off, and then the bolts that came with the stand are actually too large for the central machinery. They're meant for the Bauer lathe that is a little bit bigger, but those little feet, the studs on those are plenty long enough to go through the stand plate and then screw right back into the bottom. And so that's what I chose to do to mount the lathe, as I thought it would be a lot of hassle to go and hunt through my nuts and bolts for essentially the same thing. And so there we are. Everything is fiddly once you're trying to hurry because you got something else going on. But it went together pretty well. And here I'm just, tightening up those little rubber feet. On the end where the motor is, there's a little plastic bottom plate, and it just kind of slides in place, and it was blocking one of my holes. So once I got that sorted out, then I went back and tightened up all of the bolts on the frame of the stand, and then put the set screws in place, made sure I had all of that sorted, and I'm just monkeying around with the knobs and switches, and pretty impressed with the little lathe. It comes with the faceplate in both centers, and then alright, so here we are. We have our lathe together. Over here, of course, are all of the various components for the faceplate, the centers, all of that. I will get into that in another video. Right now I'm going about an hour. Of course, it'll be completely sped up So you're probably getting it 15 minutes. And I'll come back and show you the laser project when it is finished. Alright, on this episode of Turn Along with Jim, we are going to take the little lathe that could, and we are going to turn several table legs, big salad bowl, I don't know, maybe some brake pads, I don't know yet. We'll figure it out as we go. Alright, without any further ado, we will start the little lathe that could, and we will start with a pair of drumsticks. Sound like nonsense to you? Sounds like nonsense to me too. Why don't we see what we can do with it? Alright, that'll be next time on Soldier Farms. In the meantime, we got 15 minutes to go on our project on the laser. Alright, you all, the Bugman is back and the laser is done. So let's go see what we got. Alright, I'm going to turn you around. Alright, move over here. Got this open. I'm going to go ahead and turn off my laser. And I'm going to reach down here and turn off the fan. Speaking of which, little portable power station is perfect for this USB fan. My old laptop here only had one available jack and the laser was plugged into it. So, aside from maybe needing the brush, I like how that turned out. And that will give her a little something that she can hang, and it's got enough board on it that she can decorate or she can color with paint markers. And so I am very pleased with both of those. And I'll probably even package the test sheet, because this girl is a 5th grader and she loves art and loves to decorate, and so that way she has plenty. And my co-worker, who is now my client, will be happy. So let me switch back to my mild-mannered exterior. And the specs hide that I'm a bug man, right? Yeah, I didn't think so. Sorry about that. Alright, you all. Thank you. Please like and subscribe. Please follow my community page on YouTube. I suggest some great channels. We have good discussions. And we're doing our very best to provide better content every time we make a video. So bless you all and have a great day.